going to be the team to win with a 69% map win percentage, or on the other side of the barrel, LA Dweebs with a 54% map win percentage. Excuse me. So Dweebs are definitely going to be that team that would pull off an upset if they can.
That's exactly what they want to do, is put an upset to eat both sides, really. They want to make sure that they are the ones on top, and that's standard with any game. And already Messiah pushing in hard, pushing in fast, getting one, but this is why we're at bronze. The accuracy not up to par, but he is able to claim the point. And of course, first point, we always say this very clearly. This is just mainly a death match. This is where we start to gain control. You want to look at top left, where we see player 5 die. That's going to be clutch. That there, realistically, is the next point. It's just opened up, or it's starting to open up, and that's where you want your rotations to be. So we'll see a lot of players move there and leave P1 alone.
Yeah, so right now, the rotations are going to be on the side of Paris. Paris is ultimately going to win and absolutely swarm P2. Get some of that crucial time now. It's pretty even right now, both on the sides of both teams to start off this match, but it ultimately is going to be Paris that is looking to get themselves in a great position right now to hold spawns and hold themselves down into P2. They're really anchoring down right now and showing no sign of backing out.
Yeah, you've got to anchor, though. You just have to hold the point and not let go in any shape or form. As you can see, that's what the LA Dweebs have done, and already Paris using the rotation. Just for clarity, white is actually Paris, red is LA, because, you know, LA Thieves, they have the red in them, so that's just for clarity for all the viewers at home. So yeah, you can see LA quickly actually be able to counter the rotation quite early, getting a nice positioning as reaction. Is trying to find one, and he will find it, but will get taken out himself. And this point still open for the taking.
Yep, here we are now back into P3. It's going to be primary control given to Paris. Got a decent setup going as well, but Gunbounder, that would have been a gunfight for you to win, but you're just not able to do it. So ultimate control now favoring the side of Paris. That's going to be Psychotic Pig sitting on point now, scrapping up the time and some kills in the feed as he does it.
This is going to be a pincher maneuver, and it's going to work out very well, but the outside of Paris able to deny the original push by LA, so brilliant work. LA had the pinch coming in, but the reinforcements came fast, denied the pinch to fully work. They got the player off, but they couldn't put a player on, so well done, Paris, for getting that done, and they'll actually go to the next point, down at bottom left, and that will be P4 ready for them.
Yeah, I think we also kind of missed it that Psychotic Pig was sort of challenged by Brooksy there towards the end, and Brooksy ultimately won. And it might not seem like it's a lot of time that he lost, but that could add up towards the end of the game. I mean, at this point, LA is just taking any possible time that they can get back to stay in the lead right now, as they're absolutely just gunning down the side of Paris and not letting them touch the time. Paris, you're not too far away from the score right now, but these are the hills that you really need to start winning your gunfights on and capitalizing on that time.
Yeah, and you know, going down as Brooksy getting in a fine position, but he will fall as well. But Gunbounder is found his way through, but he will just fall just before the hurdle. The point open, and not only by physically being an open site, but also no one on it at the moment. It's very difficult. I find P4 is one that you can't gain a lot of points on because of the way it's made. But you can see Paris, they're done. They're not having any part of that, as they're going to rotate across. D.Va will try and get one on his own, but he's just struggling to get the kill. He finally gets it. Now, you know, what's he got from a sideline? Unable to get he's got the information. He gets one. Is there two? No, the reload coming at the wrong time.
Yeah, that Divi winning that gunfight against Yuno was absolutely crucial in order to really cause mayhem and confusion on the side of the Dweebs. Paris going into the series on a Dweebs going into this game on a 4-game win streak, showing absolutely no sign of slowing down so far, now surpassing 100 points, and now Paris got a lot of catching up to do, over 50 points. That's going to be a whole hill to get yourself back into the game.
LA's locked this down nicely. A few players laying on the floor, but you know he's maybe found a break. No, it's going to be Clutch coming in, as his name is, and he's going to deny it, but they're going to already rotate to P1. 12 seconds left. They're really leaving the sites entirely, so full scraps are being uncontested, and now they're going to focus on P1. the point where we got to start focusing on those rotations. But Gunbound, he's got the Renexy out and he gets one, and that's going to be handy as he now has top AC control.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge win, as you said earlier, for Gunbounder to win. We're back into the full rotation now, back onto P1. This will be an opportunity for Paris to get themselves back in the game, and MWIII certainly is off to a great start. Now getting that trophy down, setting up camp onto P1. He's good from behind. That's his teammate up. Gunbounder getting some control up there, so all he really needs to worry about is in front of him and from Secret. Right now, Paris doing a pretty good job right now from this full P1 rotation.
Yeah, Brooksy getting two, opening up the site. That's going to allow the last 20 seconds to be in favor of LA Dweebs, but spawns are not in their favor. LA are spawning to the right when when they really need to be spawning over to the left side. Paris have the advantage. They're starting to set themselves up in Cafe, and that's exactly what they need to do. They're in a prime position as Gunbounder gets the first frag onto P2.
That Psychotic picks out a great position right now, holding that top AC. The 1v1 right now situation between him and Clutch, and he understands that. Clutch is going to give the information over to Reactions, and Reactions is going to get a double kill on Pig and MWIII at the same time, but Gunbounder is going to save the point, save the time that they worked so hard to rotate to get the nade in. And there goes some more time from Paris. Paris coming back slowly but surely, but obviously the shots from Brooksy and the rest of the LA Dweebs is not going to help their case.
It's not going to help at all. We know Paris is the joke for the country to wave the white flag. That's exactly what they're not doing right now. They're coming at them hard. They're getting these points, and that is near to perfect of a point on P1, but P3 is going to be already in that LA control. You can see sitting on their Clutch right on point ready. You also got Reactions just on the outside and a great setup, but Paris are ready. They're ready to make that push inside. So as this point goes up, they're going to start to make the attacks, but they just can't find a way fully in.
Yeah, that was the first time Paris kind of forced LA to just cut their losses and rotate now to P3, and that's exactly what they did. Now, Paris has some momentum going here, but LA is a team that isn't to be reckoned with now. 5-1 in their conference or in their league, and they're completely shutting down the force that sort of bursted out of LA at the same time.
Paris has just made the break, so they've now got control of the point halfway through the time that's left. So this is going to be some valuable points for Paris, but half of it's already gone to LA. But LA, they're mounting up another attack. They're coming from the rear. Into the point they go. Gunbowder's got to really stay alert. He is going to fall, so LA will reclaim it again. And with 10 seconds left on the clock, it's going to be scrapped. But Paris, they've already retreated. They've already got themselves ready for P4, and it's going to be a dangerous situation because LA are getting ever so close to that 200 points.
Gunbounder absolutely being a menace for the side of the LA Dweebs, catching two of them off on rotation, really reinstating the fact that Paris is here, and though they were down by 50 just a couple of seconds ago, they're certainly not out of the game. Now, of course, there's going to be trades that go in that's going to make that setup sort of disintegrate within seconds, but it's going to be up to the new spawns and rotation that favor Paris to regain what was previously theirs.
Yeah, and LA pushed off the site once again. Another strong break from Paris, doing it again halfway through the timer clock. But as mentioned, a little bit of time has gone towards LA. So 201 for LA, and it's only 150 for Paris. But I said this before, I'll say it again. P4, hard to really capture because of the open site nature. But already fights for the P5 is getting underway. Gunbound really in a tight position. He's going to try and keep himself alive, but Clutch will get the kill. But his position given away from Yuno. Yuno knows where he is. It's just trying to get a sightline to do some damage, but it's the MWIII who will push in and get the kill instead. And Reactions going to try and avenge. No, Yuno, again, great position. Will do a lot of damage here. He's on a 2 streak, but can he get the next one? No. His team coming in clutch, but Yuno, no. He'll get another player, and that's another kill for him.
Paris absolutely on fire right now, putting bullets into Dweebs whichever way they go, utilizing their comms and getting those trades when they matter most. This is a great setup so far from the side of Paris. They fought this hard to keep control on the point, and Yuno getting that kill there certainly was trying his best not to go in vain, but there's MWIII to avenge the death. But again, trades are going to go through. What Dweebs is so far the best at capitalizing on, and ultimately Paris is going to come back by just a sliver at this point in time, but now with about 2:16 left now, rotating fully back to P1. Paris starting to get into that zone now where you got to really start thinking about the end game because LA Dweebs is one hill away from victory.
Yeah, and immediately does the exact job he was designed to do. Pushes them off, gets himself into point. They have top AC, so that's a lot of strong control. But from the right side, it's going to come LA Dweebs. Spawns are great for Paris because they can take this entire point and then get ready for next. They are still on the point. They don't have enough to win it on this hill, so they've got to get prepared and ready. Spawns have been flipped. LA now have a spawn advantage, and they're preparing themselves ready for P2. But still, the feed is white. The Messiah's just dropped down. Is he going to get another no? He'll get taken out by Brooksy. Still, points going for LA Dweebs, and we will have to go to the cafe.
Yeah, we're going to head over to the cafe now, and it's exactly what you were saying earlier. Although rotations are key, obviously, in the game of Hardpoint and Call of Duty in general, you need to make sure that you don't... At this point in time in the game, you really can't afford to fully push a team rotation to the next point because every single second is crucial. And right now, moving over to P2, every single second so far has been given to the LA Dweebs. So Paris, you got to get in there. You got to get in there quick. Psychotic Pig, we've seen some plays from you happen. We'll see if you can make it happen. And with a trade, it's a great start for Paris.
Yeah, it's going to be clutch to really try and stop anything from happening. That site's now gone open, so Crutch and Brooksy has done the job he needs to. They're on point, time ticking down. Gunbounder, what's he got with the Renetti? No, not good enough. ARs and SMGs just a little bit stronger. What's he got to push in? Still, he makes a trade, but it's still in dominance of LA Dweebs. They are really holding them out, and they are not allowing any more seconds, and it will be LA's first map.
Well done on the side of Paris and sort of coordinating themselves into that comeback. Sort of like they lit a fire under them towards the middle of that game and ultimately came back in what looked like would have been a successful comeback for quite some time. But again, let's actually go ahead and play on the map. Map number 2, here we are. Off to the races these gentlemen go. Paris Letdowns and LA Dweebs. Now, Paris Letdowns, they're coming off a 2-game losing streak, and Gunbounder showing that he's sick of losing game number 1 with the Messiah, and even bringing the playing field in their favor. 3v2 situation.
Yeah, that's a great start. If you're Paris coming back, you want a bit more vengeance, and already it's down to Brooksy. Bomb down, but it's gonna be Psychotic Pig being caught out, but the bomb is down, and that adds a little bit more pressure to Brooksy as he is caught and his position is given away, going to the drawbridge, and he's having to run away. All he can do now is find a new path to try and get through. And that timing is perfect. Brooksy is going to push himself into that 1v1. A little bit of a fast push. Is he going to spot the player? Is he going to go risk? He's going to go risky for the ninja. Is he going to get it off?
No way.
15 seconds for the peak round.
Oh, okay.
The Messiah just knew. He is the Messiah. He will always know.
Wow. Okay, you gotta, if you're on the side of LA, you gotta give some praise to the Messiah there for just checking bomb, because that was if there was a COD textbook of what COD timing is, that video, this moment is what would ensue, what would follow. So just given the fact that Messiah just checked bomb anyway, despite the fact that his teammate was pushing himself out, says something huge for the side of Paris. And again, LA has almost got away with it, but Paris has the Messiah to thank for that. As Clutch is able to get in, capitalize on the trade. It's going to be all bodies dropping here mid-map at DJ. It's ultimately going to be Gunbounder who gets the last laugh, but is now in the 1v2 situation as bomb is going to be rush planted on A. Rules have been reversed now, Hyper. Paris Letdowns are now in the 1v2 situation.
That's always a bit of a stinker when you get into that position, but Gunbound says, nope, I ain't going to be in the 1v2. I'm going to bring myself to a 1v1, so a position more favorable. But bomb where it was before. That is an awkward position nonetheless, but Gunbound going to take his time. Not going to rush anything. He's got a little bit of time to play with, but out in the open, Diva is there, and he's going to be spotted, and he will get the frag because he is ready for the kill. LA Dweebs put the rounds on the board.
Yeah, it was a great round from the side of LA Dweebs. Is really capitalizing on trades. It was sort of just bodies were flying for a minute. They're like it was a TDM mid maps, but props to the LA Dweebs there for capitalizing on that, getting those trades in, moving when they needed to, and establishing control on A early on in the round, getting that bomb down, and applying the pressure onto the side of Paris, ultimately allowing them to win round number 2.
Yeah, going into round 3 though, all tied up, similar strategies used from each other, and it seems to be level pegging. You know, the bomb that has been planted, it seems to be favorable, so attacking or winning here. So again, bomb going down to A, no one really wanting to contest B. First blood is going to be against Paris, you know, falls, and that's going to be some critical information as Clutch will get traded out by D.Va, and D.Va will be thankful to save his brethren.
Yeah, so that's information. Now Paris had a life disadvantage, but bomb hasn't been planted yet. And Brooksy winning that gunfight definitely doesn't help as well. The door opening gave out a ton of information now. 1v2 situation. It's going to be a pinch to end the round. Yes. Kills are going to go through. Divi kind of stepping up that round, capitalizing on not 1, but 2 trades to end the round, allowing LA to succeed their 2nd round in a row.
The fast push, I feel, can work, and it worked on the first 2, but when you consistently do it, the opposition are gonna know. So at this point in time, you've got to start thinking, let's change up this tempo a little bit. Start going for a slower play. Make them use their utility a little bit more. You know, those kind of strategies you want to start playing. Okay, admittedly, this is a lower division. May I remind everybody that this is bronze mixed. So let's not get too critical. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Slow it down, and they're going to take that mid route as the concussion will slow the play down just that little bit more. Clutch will fall, but so will Psychotic and the Messiah.
Well, information wasn't given from Gunbounder to Psychotic. He kind of got traded out, ran immediately right in front of Bar. Just as he knew there was someone there, LA Dweebs capitalizes on that. Takes home round number 3, but you gotta ask. I mean, there was information that was known that Paris had control, or excuse me, LA had control on Bar. Nevertheless, Paris player sort of ran right in front of him, gave him a free kill, and there goes the round.
This is again back to my tempo point. Even if you do it at the start, you've got to play it in the mid game as well. But nonetheless, a mistake is made. LA capitalized on it, and Paris will have to remember not to do that again. But the thing is, we're not seeing many pushes go to B, as I say that. Guess what? The bomb's going B, and it's been read perfectly. 3 people up north. It's almost like it was given away, and the feed is now orange, which is great for Paris. Paris in a great position, but Brooksy is going to say, no. That's too many players lost, and Brooksy coming in. He's got 6 and 3 at the moment, and that is a brilliant situation, especially with a 4 streak as well. That just got taken away.
Yeah, great start to Paris Letdowns round here. I mean, it's great to see that they've sort of recognized their fault and their shortcoming from the last round and decided to play it a little more slower. 3v1 situation. Clutch, is he going to do it? He might just go for the ninja defuse, just as we saw last week, Hyper. Bomb is ticking.
I'm saluting. He did get it.
Oh my gosh.
Salute.
Are you kidding me?
Salute,
Hyper.
done. You have my respect as a ninja diffuser, and you always will.
That is 2 ninja diffuses that Hyper and I have the privilege of seeing in the course of 1 week on Stickstar on B. Unbelievable.
There is a very, very famous ninja diffusing group called In Plain Sight, which I am still a proud member of. If that team was still running and we were still making videos, bro, I'd be adding you to the roster with that play. That was done brilliantly. 3 players watching you while you do it? Hell yeah. Fantastic. And Brooksy, he's going to take the first blood and keep that momentum going.
Yeah, you start to think now from the start of that ninja diffuse that it was just sort of a dagger that went into the side of Paris, now showing not much of the same energy that they had the first round and the ones that followed. LA Dweebs is able to swiftly and make it look pretty easy as they get the bomb down on A, but Gunbounder, 10 and 3 now, pulling his weight, putting in the work for the team, gets a cheeky angle there, he's not able to contest it, and with 23 seconds left. It looks like the round win's going to go to LA.
LA are just pulling ahead. They found their rhythm. They're in the mood right now, hence why the Ninja Defuse was decided to be the clutch play. These guys have got it. They found something that Paris don't, and that is just being in the right place. The communication between these guys are fantastic. When one piece of information comes, you can see Brooksy being that fantastic lurker, lurking around, able to swiftly get behind them and create that pincer maneuver very often, and that's why he has a lot of kills under his name.
I'm curious to see here what Paris does after those two very unfortunate rounds, one of them being one they should have won, and they're going to do exactly what they did that allowed them to succeed just a couple of rounds ago. Brooksy, like you said last round, he did it again this round. That's 2 kills for him. Absolutely shutting down any sort of hope on the side of Paris, capitalizing on trades and then some. So Paris, they don't have the bomb.
Ooh. Brooksy is 1 away from a cruise here. And the thing is, he doesn't have many players left to really use it. So this is just more for an opportunity. Is Brooksy, as he found it. Oh, do you flick like that, Brooksy? You weren't even looking at the right plays.
Messiah is the last one alive. There's so much he has to do. There's so many things he has to avoid. The information's going to go out. He's still alive, running around. It's a game of cat and mouse at this point. They're going to try to pinch him in through mid. He's got 24 seconds to grab the bomb, plant it, possibly get 3 kills in the process. They've completely switched sides on the map. He's going to need to get on B and get on it quick. A couple of seconds for a plan. He has enough time, but there comes Brooksy, the menace, checking the bomb again. That's going to be 3 kills for him for the round.
What a brilliant... Wow. I'm lost for words, taking account that Brooksy... How do you have that sense to flick? What is your controller sensitivity? Paris wants to give us some entertainment. Hey, I will take a round 5, map 5 type game. And remember, we have Rio and Karachi as the next 2 maps, but immediately going for the firefight. Clutch will get the first frag and reaction. Oh, he's got some good reaction because he'll get the second, but Brooksy also taking the third. This is looking strong, and this is a B push, so an off strategy.
Usually a B push is sort of risky, definitely just because you gotta get through like a wall that the offensive or the defensive team puts right in front of it, and you gotta win your gunfights, you gotta win almost all your gunfights. It's sort of exactly what LA Dweebs does. Makes it look like it's a pub's lobby to get time on point, but not if there's anything for Gunbounder and Psychotic has to say, as they slip in at the very last second. Get some time down to 2 ticks. Nevertheless, it was still a good push by LA. I wouldn't say it went in vain, but now we're starting to see Paris, after getting completely slaughtered in the first couple of seconds of the map, fight back and hit their shots.
Yeah, Paris doing a fantastic job of denying the full tick. If they got B, that would have been disaster, but once again, they're pushing B. There's no advanced push-up, but again, the feed is orange, so this is looking favorable. Reactions down into Cubby. Not a lot he can do, but the reinforcements are coming, but they've got to come fast because it's going to be dire. Reaction is able to keep himself alive for 1. Another one from the back, but Yuno is going to get it and start to clear away, but Clutch coming in. And he does his duty. 2-1 on point. They just need a little bit more. Can they put 1 more on it? No, don't need it. That's be good.
Huge win on the side of Clutch at the very end there. I think Paris thought once the last of LA Dweebs was slayed off of B, that's all there was left. That's all she wrote, and they could go back to defending A. But at the very last second, Clutch comes in, guns down Yuno, and ultimately finished off that last tick. It's very unfortunate to see if you're on the side of Paris, but on the flip side, you are up by 3 lives at this point in time. So you do have that to lean on in case things get a little fishy, sort of waiting out LA and holding those corners and playing really slowly if you need to.
Yeah, Gunbounder gonna find the one in the middle. It's gonna be Diva or Diva, and he's gonna be able to clear out and do the job needed. And Paris, this is looking a little bit more comfortable now. This is a harder sight when everybody is only looking at it, but the feed goes white again. Brooksy in the feed and getting more kills, but Diva is on point. Gonna start to get some ticks going, but it's gonna be 2 on points as well. Brooksy playing the game as well. But so Paris really needs to start around. They're gonna start pushing in round the corner. They go. Reaction has the angle, will get traded, but Gunbounded from the up top is gonna do some damage as well. No lives remaining for Paris as for LA Dweebs. So they've got 1 life left to try and do something, but look at this positioning from Paris. It's going to be hard to push in.
And right now, there goes the first from the side of LA, a successful trade, and the second. Now, I was going to say it was possible with 4 lives, but now with only 2 and 7, it's going to be really hard, especially with now MWIII having comms as to where exactly one of the 2 players are. Clutch sneaking by. Those heavy boots definitely aren't going to help. Now being the last alive with 20 seconds left, he's got to do something quick. If he jumps on point, he's going to get slayed right away, and he does anyway, peeking down onto Paris. Big mistake. It's been popped right off, and there goes round 1 to Paris.
There was a lot of trigger discipline for Clutch, and I can tell that he wasn't going to commit to the one down below. He didn't want to commit that long distance fight because of the weapon he had, but once he was caught, you have to engage. So brilliant trigger discipline. It just unfortunately didn't work out the way they wanted. Now, defensive have won. Now, statistically, a lot of the attackers win on this map. So it's kind of a refreshing sight to see the defense actually living up to what they're supposed to do, as what statistically and realistically should be happening. And it's going to be a very quick push, 3 on point.
Now there's 3 on A. They're looking to really rush cap that. Mirror what LA did last round, but on A, and so far so good. Gunbounder, that's a big kill for you to pick up. Give yourself a quick little pat on the back for allowing really Paris to complete that last tick, and now they got some time to work with, some lives to work with. It looks pretty good right now, Hyper.
I'd be comfortable if I was them, 100%, and exactly they're gonna push forward as the spawn, and where LA is positioned is not the most favorable. But if your Diva helped, I'm gonna take that 2-piece quite nicely and say thank you very much. But finally, the MWIII will say no more. Mighty voice.
Yeah, so there's all 3 on the bottom left corner. You see all 3 arrows coming out of bottom red for a second there. MWIII winning that first crucial kill to kick things off, create a little bit of an opening from the side of Paris, but there's Divi again and Brooksy side by side saying no, get off my point, and back to the spawns you go. Now Paris forced to clump up in bottom and top red. Now they're down in the lives, 23 to 21, and MWIII again dying from Divi. Psychotic Pig able to pick up the trade. That's not going to help in the long run. Just trades all around. Bodies are flying, but no ticks, Hyper, on B.
It's a very hard position to be. Paris are going to find their way around the back, but unfortunately, it's going to be Divi. Going to get that sliding kill, but Psychotic Pig on point now. Going to start to get the contest, but Divi jumping in, and it's going to actually be Brooksy taking it. So good teamwork.
Wow.
And the MWIII getting 2. He is popping off 11 and 9. Make that 12 and 9, and with a 3 streak going as well.
Right. MWIII looking to get a cruise missile now as he puts LA into the blender, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is. It's going to boil down to this to see if LA has a chance to get themselves out of the blender. We've seen crazier things happen before. It's going to be up to Divi. He was the original MWIII coming out, but now he gets shut down by the MWIII from the side of Paris. The true MWIII here on this map on Karachi. They get shut down. The contest is going to go through from Divi and Clutch again. Now Psychotic playing his life and playing it well with a double kill. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is Call of Duty Control on Karachi, and you know, making everyone in the stream know and in the game know why this map is panned so often here on Control, just because you get players like Reactions succumbing to the blender and ultimately losing the round.
It was just the right place, right time. Everyone was spawning where you needed to. And of course, naturally, when you have someone so close to point, the only pathway is to go over that dumpster, hence the blender. Gunbounded, sitting in the right place, right time, able to slay them down. The MWIII sitting in great play positions as well. And that feed was just orange. orange, 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 and orange. That's all you needed to see. So brilliant work from Paris, putting themselves 2-0 and maybe a glimmer of hope to push us to map 4 and to send us to Rio.
I'd say they're giving us more than a glimmer. They're giving absolute domination on this map. They're coming in explosive, completely different team starting-wise than they were in Hardpoint. In Hardpoint, they were just sort of lackluster for the first 50 seconds and they were down. And now, on the defensive, there goes 3 off. Brooksy trying to make a statement, trying to get some courage, rally his teammates up with that first kill and a successful trade. But he's not even able to complete a tick. Paris is absolutely on fire right now.
They are really on fire. That feed still coated in orange. You know, then the Messiah will fall to D.Va. But finally, the first tick will go through for LA, and it's still going orange. Paris have found something. Where was this on the other 2 maps? This is exactly what you want to see from the Frenchman.
Well, now things are starting to slow down just a little bit as you say that. Some crucial time. There goes the first tick. Given over to LA, and here comes the rest of LA to capitalize on their trades, but they're not able to. Again, 3 off, but Brooksy is trying his hardest to do something, trying to hold on to his last bit of hope, his last life and his 2 kills, but he's shot down by Psychotic Pig, and he's absolutely popping off on this map. It's up to Divi now, and Clutch, even the, excuse me, that's Reactions to finally get that point and end all this mayhem. But Gunbounder and the cruise missile certainly aren't helping the case.
13 to 20. What? Sorry, 12 to 21. That's a huge deficit, and that's not what you want to see if you're LA. The Frenchmen are coming in strong, and they're giving us a show right now. As Clutch will get that lovely long range, but again, you know, coming back, and you can see that line is already strong. They positioned themselves well, but Reaction able to get that lovely quick pick against Yuno and allow for the rotations to come back in towards that site.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable. Gunbounder, mid-throwing of the stun, still wins his gunfight against the highly regarded Brooksy in this series. You can see now Paris sort of doing their best to spread themselves out around as much as they can to avoid getting picked off one at a time and being put in the blender. This is exactly as LA was doing before, but trades are going through, and LA only has 4 lives to play with. You know, now minusing that down to 3. LA, this is insanity.
This is a dangerous position to be. Reactions, he's gonna fall. It's down to 1, and it's mapped to Paris. Is this going to be a reverse sweep? Has Paris come alive? It's only a matter of time until we find out that. That was a really interesting map to see. This inseparable chemistry that's going on between the teams. And I'm not going to say it's going to be a complete wipeout like it was on Control, but I definitely am going to see that Paris is going to come in really strong, and that's going to offset LA for quite some time before things go back to normal. Well, what's the first 2 names that come up? Brooksy and Clutch are already getting it going. 2 pieces from them already. I said that there was, you know, as much as I was going to say Paris, and I'm thinking it's LA, already the feed is white in favor of LA, and the spawns are looking split at the moment for Paris, as already Reactions decided to get that ready and prepped for Hot Dog.
Yeah, I mean, Gunbounder doing a great job catching on rotation, so ultimately that's a 2-piece for Gunbounder as well. Who's to say that MCWs can't be used on Rio? It's looking really good, and he's going to get the last 10 seconds of time. But yeah, as you were saying earlier, Monk was sort of split for a second, but ultimately going to favor the side of Paris. And Gunbounder definitely not, you know, helping on the side of LA. Just keep getting those kills, and he's 1 away from a cruise.
He is in a fine position indeed. Clutch sliding in, and now he's got the rear side, but information given away. He needs his team to push in to really be the spice and the thorn, and they're back, and that's exactly what they've done. Now they can contest Hot Dog, and they've gained that control. But look who's lurking through. The Messiah slowly creeping in. He just gets pulled out.
Yeah, so we're going to see now. He's going to be slayed off point. Divi now doing his job, anchoring down the point from the assistance of Clutch and Divi. They're doing a phenomenal job working together and completely, you know, setting up this force field around P2 and not allowing Paris anywhere near the point, despite the fact that they had rotations. But at 13 seconds left, no one's going to be touching the point right now. So a solid 5 to 7 seconds completely lost, going to absolutely nobody. So I guess that is the best case scenario if you're on the side of Paris. But here comes rotations that are going to go through. Yuno's going to try his best to make a statement and get some time down, but ultimately it looks like it's also going to favor LA.
Yeah, LA have just been able to win those fights on the rotation game. We said how critical it is on this map because of the tight-knit nature of it. And Brooksy with 2. He's coming out to play. 7 and 3 already with that 2-piece. Gonna definitely help him for sure. And this is one of the positions I said for the MCW, but I said it from the get-go. CQB is LA's position, and they have that map advantage, they have the score advantage, and probably the kill advantage.
Yeah, right now we're seeing very similar to how we saw on map 1 Karachi Hardpoint. You got 3 off on the side of Paris, but spawns are still going to favor the side of LA, so they're ultimately just going to keep contesting and being annoying, giving Paris headaches until they eventually go down and rotate. A huge gunfight to win on the side of, that's going to be one cut off from rotation on LA, and ultimately allowing Paris an opportunity to get some control now, moving over to P4. The point's open for grabs, but Divi with his MCW is going to get shut down quickly from Paris and his teammates as well, but Brooksy as well, just absolutely popping off, getting those 2 kills. It always seems like when we start a new point, Brooksy just comes in, wreaks havoc for a little bit, and then it's like, all right, guys, get on the point.
It very much feels like that. Brooksy just doing his duty and going, yeah, that's all yours. I do agree with that, and then he does come back a little bit later on just to finish up the last bits. His clutch is going to get 2 and then get taken down and unbounded. But the taking over of P4, Paris had it all on lock, but it was just the spawns that went against them. And thankfully, they've been able to retake control, but the LA Dweebs just had the spawns to able to capitalize on the second wave coming in. So that's why points advantage will stick with LA. But let's wait for Brooksy. I'm waiting for your time to come through. He's getting up to point. There's Clutch in the feed, so he's getting ready. But downstairs, Brooksy getting denied.
Yeah, he gets denied. There's 3 off on the side of LA. 1 more left lurking. This is huge if Paris can hold down this hill and take advantage. They really need this hill to get themselves back in the game. They're down by the sort of rest of the time on this hill and then some. So if Paris is able to capitalize on the fact that it's been raining orange as of right now into the feed and not allowing Clutch to get a kill on that cruise missile, will be very well back in the game, but nevertheless, he does, and that's going to allow an opening from LA to go on. But great marksmanship from the side of Messiah, sort of delaying that push altogether. Ultimately, it's going to favor LA for those last 15 seconds.
Yeah, and then we're going to go straight back to P1. Rotation 2 is going to be in effect, and you can see Divi putting 2 in. It's all white in the feed, and again, LA Dweebs are just coming out hot, and they are coming out to play, as it's going to be back to the bloodbath of P1, and Brooksy gets aggressive, and he's pushing in once again, and he gets another one against a pre-aimed player. How, Brooksy, how?
Yeah, so right now LA is over double the amount of points against Paris right now, so it's going to take Paris a whole 60 and then some to get themselves back into the game at this point in time. I'm not sure what Sixth Sense kicked in for Divi there to get that kill on Bridge, but that's not going to help on the side of Paris. Ultimately, it is going to cost them a trade in the process, so they're going to get the last 20 seconds here of time. Gunfounder, you really can't lose this gunfight, but he does anyway, unfortunately. But the good thing about it is it looks like Paris still have spawns now over to P2. So again, I keep saying that sound like a broken record at this point. Paris, you need a nearly flawless hill to keep yourself in this game.
Look who comes around from the back. Brooksy is in a great position. There's going to be one Clutch coming in as well. The Renetti's out, and Brooksy's going to get another. Oh no, it's taken away by reactions, but nonetheless, LA Dweebs completely clearing P2 and breaking the site. Spawn or not, this is LA's Clutch, and this is exactly what they're coming to do. And it's going to take a miracle for Paris to come back, as LA are so close to getting the 200 points, and the 100 Club is still in danger.
Yeah, I mean, right now LA is starting to taste the victory and taste the feeling of absolutely proving Scabby the caster wrong, as they're absolutely dominating right now in Rio. They're now at 200 points, only 50 away, and Paris still has yet to reach 100. It seems like the previous force, the previous Paris that we saw last map has sort of started to die out in their energy, and they're not able to win anything. Nothing's going on their way, as Reactions is on a 5 spree, and that's not helping their case either. So LA Dweebs looking to close it out on this hill, but Paris still showing an ounce of resilience to get things back into their favor.
They don't like doing this the easy way. They could have cleared off the get-go. No, LA wants to do the full-on break when they've locked down the position. And even when Paris are locked down, they somehow find a way to get themselves on. And that's exactly what they're doing. Two gonna push on site, and Psychotic Pig not really able to do much. A name we haven't said a lot today, as he's been running in the background, but you know, has he got anything to come back? Gets two. Possibility of hope. No, Brooksy says no. This is all mine. But Paris are back on point, and they just need 10 more points just to avoid embarrassment.
Yeah, they need 10 more points, and they also need to beat LA Dweebs at rotation while simultaneously not allowing them to get any sort of scraps of time. And there's two coming in from Gunbounder, 2 free kills, and they're going to be taken from the Renetti at the same time. But Clutch ultimately going to trade him out with the Rival 9 as he's looking to close it out on this next hill. But you know, we saw the double kill. You can see it again, but we're not going to. Now it's up to the Messiah to come out as the Messiah and get something done here, but he's not able to either.
Yeah, it's looking to be LA locking down that final point. All they need to do is hold it here. Exactly what they're doing. They may have lost control, but they haven't lost control of the series. 5 seconds is left, and all they need, all the utility thrown out, and was able to deny the finish and the end. But Clutch from the outside. To be honest, LA doesn't need that site, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Start the rotations to go over Reactions, prepared and set. 4 seconds is all they need to finish this game off. Reaction getting the critical kill, and it's down to 4 seconds before point is open up. And Paris, they've done all they can. They send one over, but there's still 3 on point. That's the series, and that is the game.
Yep. The last kill, last 3 kills there is really what set the nail in the coffin and secured the win on the side of LA. Ultimately taking home the series at what we thought could have been a reverse sweep, and ultimately